everybody, it's Deborah Capaccio coming to you live from my bedroom because, well, it's the best lighting, so that's where I will shoot this today. Is fat a feeling? Is it a feeling? We are told over and over again in today's culture that fat is not a feeling, that you don't feel fat, that you shouldn't feel fat. But tell that to me, who felt fat for 35 years, and tell that to hundreds of the women, almost thousands at this point, that I speak to on the daily, who tell me, Deborah, I feel fat, I feel gross, I feel in my own skin, I can't look at myself, I feel disgusting, that they don't feel fat. And so what I want to do today is sort of identify what we're actually feeling when we say we feel fat. What does that mean? The reasons that contribute to that, and some really easy, quick solutions to turn those awful feelings around actually in minutes. All right, number one reason why you may feel fat is you may be carrying around excess fat. Let's just call it what it is. You may be at the point where the adipose tissue on your body, which is fat, is in an excess amount, more than you need to be healthy, and you look down at your body and you see the fat. And what you're actually feeling is discomfort around where you have allowed your body to go. And when we unpack that even further, it comes down to realizing the choices that we've been making have been unhealthy. And that has led us to be out of alignment with our authentic self. So when we're put on this earth, we are meant to be active, we are meant to move, we are meant to eat healthful foods, not processed food, not McDonald's, not excess alcohol. And if we were to live this way, our bodies would reflect that. And let me be clear, this is not about being a size 0 or a 2 or a 4. It has nothing to do with that. What excess adipose tissue means is that you are at a level that possibly is putting your health at risk. Obesity is a major, major crisis in this country and globally. I have seen the detrimental effects that have been caused by obesity. Diabetes, osteoarthritis, the need for knee and hip replacements, chronic pain, which has led to chronic dependence on pain medications, heart disease, strokes. You can just Google your body mass index, put your height, your weight, and figure out where you land. Then take action to reduce your body fat. So my tip for anybody who is struggling with excess adipose tissue, who may fall in the obese range or morbidly obese range, is this. Instead of looking down at your body in disgust and beating yourself up and lowering your self-esteem by saying, I'm so fat, I'm gross, I would love for you to switch out that language and say, I have excess adipose tissue right now. I am carrying excess fat, but I know how to get rid of it. I know the choices that I've been making have not been in my best interest. I'm going to seek help. You can call me, you can find me. Whatever it looks like for you, you're going to decide today to take action, reach out to a mentor, find someone, but take action today to start to decrease that body fat so that you can be healthful and live a very long life and stop feeling fat. All right. Number 2, I fell into this category, and some people fall into this category. I was 15 pounds heavier than I was today, that I am today. I was never morbidly obese. I was never even obese, but I still felt fat. The reason was a complicated sort of methodology. Number 1, I realized that I had body image issues that came from my childhood. Beauty in women was sort of put on a pedestal. You had to look a certain way to be beautiful. Dieting was a regular thing in my household. Body image was esteemed to be sort of a perfection that I couldn't obtain. And so for me, 15 pounds heavier was a couple things. It was a realization that I had some enmeshed imagery around what was beautiful, what was healthy, that was false. But I also realized that I was making unhealthy choices, that I was drinking and turning to alcohol for my stress much more than I should have been, which was packing on the pounds. I was reaching for fast food. I was starting the gym and stopping the gym. And over time, my body put on those 15 pounds. I felt fat. Should I have felt fat? I don't know. That's how I felt. But now I understand that that was just a signal that I was out of alignment. There was more work to be done on my body image, my self-esteem, and my negative self-talk. And so I put myself into action. I unpacked what I needed to do to get to the core of sort of my self-hatred and my obsession with looking a certain way. And those 15 pounds came off. And now I'm able to live a balanced life without ever calling myself names such as fat, ugly, loser, and many of the others that I did. There is a reason that you're having these limiting beliefs, and you have to get to the core. And we address all of that, by the way, in my course, Brain First, Body Second. Reach out to a therapist who specializes in body image and body dysmorphia. I am not a therapist, but I do know what has worked for me. And there's very simple exercises that you can start to do with your mind, reversing your negative self-talk. What I started to do was replace my negative self-talk with affirmation. So instead of saying, ugh, I feel gross, I started repeating the phrase, I am a fit person in body and mind. When you repeat things, your brain takes it as fact, negative or positive. So I decided to do an experiment, and I started repeating that. And I started to embody that, and my choices started to follow. To get that negative self-talk out, to replace it with the positive affirmations, and things start to happen in our external reality. Weight comes off, energy goes up, and a feeling of self-acceptance and self-love naturally follows. Another reason you may feel fat is that you're bloated. There is a huge difference between excess body weight and adipose tissue, which is fat, and having a bloated stomach. Now, this is something I absolutely relate to, and many of my clients in our 50s and late 40s going through perimenopause and menopause suffer from bloating. It is not fun, and it makes us feel gross and fat. However, be very clear as to the difference between carrying excess weight and having a bloated belly. The question is, why do we have the bloated belly? There are multiple reasons. For me, what I found out the hard way was that I was not moving my bowels, and the foods that I was eating, although they were healthy, were not agreeing with my intestines. So I wasn't able to move my bowels, poop, often, and I would get bloating and gas. It's gross, but it's true. So I've recently adopted what they call a low Fodmap diet, and I have to be honest, I'm not a nutritionist. It's really made a difference. So I implore you to, if you're struggling a lot with bloating, especially after eating and you're having abdominal pain, that you really seek, advice from a nutritionist. I spoke to a nutritionist, and she really kind of broke it down for me and said, I think that you would benefit from this diet, try it. And I followed her guidance specifically, and so far it's working for me. See your doctor, find out about your hormones, look at what you're eating. Are you drinking enough water? How are your bowel movements? Are you going daily, which is actually what we're supposed to do? And then kind of reassess. Having a bloated belly does not mean that we should feel fat. All right, you guys, sleep. This is so huge. Hormones change, cortisol goes up, hunger levels go up, craving levels go up when we aren't getting enough sleep. When we aren't getting enough sleep, we feel sluggish. And when we feel sluggish, we don't exercise, we don't move our body, and then we feel fat. It is so key that we are going to bed at the right time. All the time we hear you need to slay your mornings. What's your morning routine? I always say to my clients, you will not have a morning routine if your evening routine sucks. If you are getting to bed at 12:30 and you need to get up at 6:30 or 6 or 5:30 or whatever it is, you're not going to do it. And you're setting yourself up for an entire day of low movement, of high food cravings, and overall a negative mindset. Sleep is a complicated thing. Again, in our middle-age years, menopause, perimenopause, night sweats. I've just recently found something that has helped me. I've spoken to my doctor and I'm taking a medication that has stopped the night sweats and the hot flashes, but I was barely sleeping for 3 months and it was a struggle, and it was the hardest time in my life to keep a positive mindset. So I realized sleep is my number one pillar. It is a non-negotiable. I have to find a way to get 7 to 8 hours minimum. Anything less, my entire day falls apart. I feel lazy. I don't feel my best. And if I hadn't done the work that I've been doing, I probably would be feeling fat as well. All right, and the last thing just may be that we've been inactive. We haven't been getting up and moving our body to the point of a sweat. I am a big believer, especially if you're a middle-aged woman, that you need to be exercising daily to the point that you're sweating. And I really, really highly recommend weightlifting. Weightlifting is the key, has been the key for me and my clients to have lasting fitness. So muscles, you guys, the more muscle mass that you have, the more calories you're gonna burn at rest. Let me repeat that. The more muscle mass you have, the more calories you will burn at rest. And that is what we want to keep our metabolism up and to keep fit. So a lot of women come to me and they say, well, I walk every day. I love walking. I walk every day too, but I do it in addition to a minimum 30-minute weightlifting workout. And surprisingly, walking at an average pace doesn't burn a ton of calories depending on how far you go. Now, if you say, Deborah, I walk 5 miles a day, you probably will burn those calories and keep your weight down, but you're not gonna combat osteoporosis. Osteoporosis is a disease that women are challenged with as we age and our hormone levels drop off, and we can fracture our bones. I'm putting on my physical therapist hat for you. So weightlifting, moving our body daily, breaking into a sweat is so key. How many times have I felt fat, felt lazy, felt blah, dragged myself to work out, didn't want to do it. I still don't love working out. Did it and felt, feel like have I lost weight? Right. Nothing in your body changed in that moment, but mentally you changed. It doesn't take a lot to shift that mindset. Understand that it has to become a habit. You have to get exercise to the automated stage where it's absolutely a non-negotiable, like brushing your teeth. I train myself in habit formation. We talk about this in my coaching and in my groups, and we understand what it takes, how to get over the initial hump of forming a habit, which is the hardest part. And once you do, exercise is just what you do. And you just naturally become a fit person. When you exercise daily, no matter what size you're at, you are gonna lose body fat, you are gonna gain muscle, and you are naturally gonna be more sculpted. But that feeling of feeling fat is going to vanish. I guarantee you, if you do that in addition to your mindset work, your affirmations, your healthy nutrition, you will no longer be riddled with the feelings of feeling fat. I hope these helped. But I also hope that you sort of take yourself off the hook for not feeling so good, for feeling fat. But that being said, it's not a pass to stay inactive. It's not a pass to remain in inaction. I've given you tips today. I would love to speak to you. I would love to connect with you, reach out and find out what's going on and how we can get you to feel amazing in your skin so you no longer have to say, I feel fat. So reach out, send me a message, and let's chat. See you soon.